Aloha, welcome in. I am Kapualani, and we're here with your timeless reading, your timeless guidance. So let me go ahead. I'm going to grab my tuning fork here, giving us a moment to tune in, to connect to the breath, connect to your higher power, your higher self, your ancestors. Set some goals if you would like. Your goals or intentions are welcome. Let's begin. All right. So, once again, I am Kapualani, and I thank you again for being here. To my long time or even newer subscribers, welcome. Thank you for being here. If you are not subscribed, thank you for checking us out, checking out my video. But let's dive in. Let's dive in. So, Spirit, what is the message for us today? What's coming up? What's coming through? What is the focus? What is the message from Spirit, the universe at this time? We've got the Empress energy coming through. So your own sense of manifestation, abilities, your feminine power coming through. It doesn't matter if you're male or female, they, whatnot. This Empress energy speaks to your wealth. It can speak to your career, to your home life, to all the things. I feel like, so what is the message from this Empress, or the focus, the concern that the Empress is bringing up at this time, Spirit? All right. We've got the Six of Rods. So it deals with success and how you are not just perceived among the masses or others in a potentially like a public kind of a way. But I feel like it speaks to okay, recognizing the success that you currently embody and understanding that whatever it is that you are considering in terms of what you're looking at, this is more of an immediate sense. Yes, there's like a longer term vision that I'm picking up on, but I get this is something more immediate for you to embrace the success and the victory that you've already kind of managed to secure. If this is something to where you're wondering, like, will I be successful? I mean, we have the rest of the cards to look at here, as well as a part two that we're going to be diving into for those who don't know. But I feel like this is something about setting yourself up for success. I feel that this does deal also, again, I'm getting it, perception of others around you, being seen, being celebrated, being even not just appreciated, but potentially even rewarded for your efforts. Okay, the actions and efforts that you put in. So, Spirit, speak to us. Okay. Where is this leading? What is this leading up to? What are we heading into? What can we expect or anticipate at this point? What can we expect or anticipate? Okay, so we got the Three of Cups. Yeah, there's success and celebrations. Okay, there's success and celebration. So just as much as there could be potential, what's the word that I'm looking at? Competition around you, like you've managed to surpass or overcome or beat out the competition, and you're going to be celebrated for it. Okay, whatever this may be, there are people I'm getting within your inner circle that maybe they miss you. I don't know why, but I just also got that you could be missed, and you could like there. I feel like there may be some kind of a small get together that's going to be fulfilling. Four of Cups, or that you could use Three of Cups, Four of Cups. Interesting. um there may be certain aspects of your day-to-day life that you're not too excited about or thrilled about. Maybe you're searching for answers, you're searching for some type of an opening or some type of clarity, but you're not seeing that it's like right in front of you. Okay, when we have the Four of Cups, sometimes I see this as a card that kind of like Delulu card, where it's sort of like, hey, you might not have that vision. You may not be living the vision of the fulfillment that you wish that you had or whatnot. But there's something, like, for example, if we have this Three of Cups and this Four of Cups, I feel like you're searching for something more. Okay. You already have experienced a certain level of success, but there's something about this period of like success or having accomplished something to where it's like a short-lived celebration or something like that, because it's almost like we're always looking for the next thing or whatever. So what is that, Spirit? Six of Swords. So we got 6 and 6 here, which is all about relationships, harmonizing and balancing in relationships, or just within yourself, life in general. Something has the potential of going a lot smoother than you may think, or even moving a lot more swiftly. It's not something that I see like all this fast movement, but I just feel like if you're feeling as though you're in a period of just kind of boredom, or it's just a little bit blah, this too shall pass, and it's going to pass a lot sooner or a lot faster and smoother than you may think, or maybe that you may have experienced previously. Okay. I feel tempted to look at the bottom. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. See, things are going to be shifting in your favor. Okay, you just may not see it right now. This is leading up to a period of transition. You may be traveling. You might be thinking of traveling, about to travel, planning on traveling. This may speak to travel plans. But there's some kind of a detail that, if there are things that need to get done, just because you kind of have it's something that it's like, oh, it's only going to take me 5 minutes to do, 10 minutes to do, 15 minutes to do, whatever, even if it only takes 20 minutes to do. This is telling me, just go ahead and get it done. All right, don't wait till the last minute. And I'm not saying because there's going to be consequences, but it's just like, do it, you know what I mean? Because there may be something about putting this thing off that it's like, why put it off? I don't know. There isn't any, I don't get any sort of caution right now. We'll see what comes up in these kind of advice. Let's get some advice energy. Wow, that was quick. 7 of Swords. Okay, so you may not be seeing all of what's there. There may be something that you're going to have to go back over and do again, or some kind of detail. Okay, so it's kind of like if you have some kind of a form to fill out, or if you have a chore that needs to get done, just because you kind of don't really have too much going on right now, or it's not a very busy period, it doesn't mean that things won't pick up. It doesn't mean that, like, for example, just get it taken care of, because when you go to turn it in, there may be something that you're gonna have to go back and do over, or that you're gonna have to go back and look out for. So actually, Spirit's like giving you a heads up and saying to really just look over things thoroughly, one way or another. Okay, so the advice is, with the 7 of Swords energy, there are certain details that are you're better off keeping to yourself. Okay, especially if you are in a phase of transition, or if you do have certain travel plans. It's sort of like a need to know basis. You don't need to announce it to everybody that you're traveling, or you don't need to, you know what I mean, announce to everyone that you're making this change or doing whatever it is that you're going to be doing. But at the same time, like, not because there's anything to hide, but I feel like this is more just for your own sanity and being able to like manage whatever it is that you're needing to do or get done, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's see, outcome energy, Spirit. Almost. Okay, we got the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, so I get this feeling you may not be feeling completely confident about the direction that you're heading in. We got 2 6s and 2 4s. So 4 and 6 is going to be significant. Okay. So if this is 6 days or 6 weeks out, 4 days or 4 weeks out. Although, hold on. Sorry, there's some other message that's coming through here. I'm getting this feeling of, yes, take care of what needs to be taken care of and simplify. There you might be there are certain details to be addressed first before you can look like beyond, whatever goal that you have. Like in the end, there's things that need to be done here and now. They may not be very inspiring, they may be just very boring and like, oh, blah, I'd rather be doing something else, I'd rather be somewhere else. Even if you do go somewhere else, and if you know what I mean, you get involved in something else, at the end of the day, if you want to get to point whatever B or C, or let me say, actually, if you want to get to point Z, you have to get through all the other alphabets first to get to Z. It doesn't matter if you skip over this one or you skip over that one. You're only going to have to go back to take care of, like, let's just say that you go A, B, C, D, and you're like, okay, now I'm going to go to Z. It's like, no, you're going to have to go back. Well, I did Q, I did R, I did S. Yeah, but did you do E? Did you do F? Did you do G? You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So it's something along those lines. You're not as far ahead of yourself as maybe you would like to be, but that's also a benefit to you. Where you are is exactly where you need to be right now. And the success that you're experiencing is setting you up for the future that you desire. However, what you're needing to move through, and this could be just for this next week or the next 10 days, okay? We're not talking forever here. But with these cards, it's saying, celebrate the little things. You may be overlooking the good that's right in front of you because this is going to go by quickly. So rather than kind of being in like a little bit of a heavier kind of like, oh, this is so boring and uninspiring type of state, it's like look to the future, because things are always in the move. Life is constantly moving around us even when we're standing still, right? But there is movement that's happening here. You may not see it, but there is a solid foundation that's going to be ahead for you as well. This speaks to securing your foundation. This speaks to even again, if you are not so inspired by your day to day, like things are just kind of the very mundane and very boring and blah blah blah. There's something hidden in those details that may actually benefit you moving forward. We're gonna see in part two what that could be, what that could look like, other guidance that's going to be coming through in terms of like, what is it? What is it that we're securing? What is it that we might not be seeing completely, and what can we do about it? Okay. But I feel like, um you know overall, okay, this is really speaking to, again, things that are in a state of flow. You're going to be moving forward. You may not see all of the steps, or you may not be wanting to acknowledge it. There could be a couple of things going on there, whether it's denial or it's just like overlooking something. But like, no matter what you do, part of what I'm getting is that you're only going to land back where you are. Like I said, the whole from A, B, C, D to Z type of thing. So you may as well just get it done. Even if you skip over to something else, you're only going to have to go back and take care of the thing. You know what I mean? The letters that came before the anyway, I hope that makes sense, with how I'm putting this message. But it's very simple. And even right now, from these cards that we're seeing, right, 2 6s, 2 4s, and we have this Empress energy. So it's a much more kind of mundane situation that we're looking at. All right. But you're doing well nevertheless. It's just, don't be too hard on yourself. If you're not, yeah, this could also be insecurity about not seeing how far along you are, maybe being a little bit too hard on yourself. And again, this is temporary. Like, all of this is temporary. And I don't mean that in a way to take anything for granted, or just like, oh well, whatever. But what I'm saying is that, again, this too shall pass. That just keeps coming up for whatever reason. So, all right, I'm going to transition here, and we're going to take a look at our spirit animal guides and get some guidance here. I'm going to read from the book in part two. Also going to get some answers to your yes or no questions. If you have any yes or no questions, bring them into the part 2, because we will be addressing those with our angels, angel answers, and the romance angels. Okay, so spirit guides, spirit animals, what's coming up? What's coming through? All right. Well, I'm just going to stick with Firefly, although we did have an appearance from Moth, okay? Let's do both. I always say that. So there's something here about, because these are both, you know, beings, insects, energies that come out at night. I don't know why, but that just was something that I like really stood out to me. With the firefly, it's being a light in the dark is part of what I'm getting. Burn brightly and understand that you are the light. Like the light is coming from within. The Luna moth here, I feel like this speaks to, because moths do have, they bring about, like, or rather represent maybe the ending of something, a cycle that's coming to a close, and the transformation that's behind that energy. Okay, in that regard, in that aspect, I feel like there's some deeper message here with these cards that I want to lock in and share before I close out this session. But I feel like there could be certain things. Okay, even though you may not be feeling too inspired or thrilled or fulfilled with, like, you could have had a recent success or a small gain or success, or things could be going well, but it just may not be, again, that inspiring or that fulfilling. Try not to focus on it in that way, okay? Because again, things are on the move. They're in flow, okay? So any feelings of stagnation or whatnot, it will pass. Part of what I'm getting too is that this is an opportunity with the Seven of Swords, of Four of Pentacles, okay? This speaks to this period in time is available for you to really just to build things up. You may not see it, Seven of Swords. Okay, there may be things where you're gonna have to go back and just kind of have a small little bit of a do-over. And I feel like that may be part of what this is saying. It's offering you a space to focus on really locking in your foundation, because you are growing. Things are moving forward, even if you can't see it. All right. There we go. Got it. But thank you so much for joining me. You can catch part 2 at kapualani.com/extensions. I will leave the link to the extension in the description box in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. And as a note, for those who don't know, it is pay what you can. So there's very little to no risk involved. You can pay up $1 if you want. I like the angel number, so I do $1.11. But at any rate, I will see you in part 2. Thanks so much.